Xander, where are we in camp right now? What week are we at?
Maybe 4 into camp already. 4 moving, but because
Straight. Come on inside.
Do not do that. Straight. Yeah. Right off. Good. Come back, though. That's good. Ah!
Nice, right? Nice. Over and under, right there. Over and under with that same hand, right there. Yeah, turn it. Turn your hip with it. Do it again. Go take that hip with it. That's it. Do it again. Come back with the hook. Nice.
We're less than a month away from one of the biggest fights of the year in the super welterweight division. Jaron Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas have been sweating it out in the boxing gym, hoping to get in the best shape before the fight. Zayas has been constantly mocked by Boots for being big and fat, and while Zayas is naturally chubby and big, he has managed to bulk up before the clash. Boots Ennis, meanwhile, is looking incredibly sharp and dangerous. His well-chiseled body will play a massive role as he looks to absorb all the jabs and punches thrown at him on fight night. But Boots is also working on his offense, and he's going to bring out the bogeyman in him on fight night. Just have a look at his immense power in training camp. Ennis and Zayas offer a fascinating contrast between chaotic brilliance and structural discipline. Ennis is a dynamic, highly athletic offensive powerhouse who flows seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw stances. He dominates from a distance using a versatile, multi-layered jab, but is equally comfortable sliding into the pocket, leveraging his iron chin and lightning-fast reflexes to unleash high-volume angle-shifting combinations. While Ennis thrives on extended, fast-paced exchanges and spectacular counterpunching, Zayas approaches the ring with a more methodical, composed style.
All the way through. All the way through.
junior middleweight operates behind a strict, technically sound high guard, prioritizing distance control and layered feints. Zayas meticulously collects data early in a fight, utilizing sharp pre-slips and deliberate body punching to gradually wear down opponents. Rather than relying on raw explosive power, Zayas relies on high-level positioning and precise accuracy to force errors, landing crisp shots before exiting on sharp defensive angles. Where Ennis uses fluid athleticism to break rules and overwhelm, Zayas relies on flawless fundamentals to systematically dissect his opposition.
Slow down, slow down.
He's the hardest opponent in my resume to date because, again, I feel like every fight was a step into that direction. And obviously, facing somebody like Boots, former world champion, coming up to a new weight class and wanting to be the king of the weight class is obviously challenging because you know he's coming with his best, but he gotta expect the best out of me, and I promise I'm gonna bring the best version out of Xander Zayas. It's up to him. However he wants to go into this fight, the only person that is gonna pay the price is him, nobody else. Not his team, not his fans. It's only him. So if we want to underestimate the fight and he wants to half-ass it, and that's on him, that's cool with me. I know I'm putting the shifts, I know I'm putting in the work, and when it's time to go to the deep waters, I know I can swim with those sharks.
Judging by the training footage from both camps before the fight, Jaron Ennis surely looks the more dangerous man. His sheer power and bulked up frame make him look like he can easily dismantle his opponents in the ring. However, underestimating Zayas could prove to be a fatal mistake. Zayas might not look big, but like Boots, he's got the body to take a beating in the ring. Besides, his technical abilities are far superior than most people imagine. Zayas also has the heart and the confidence to take on any challenge. He has made it clear multiple times that Boots isn't someone who he's scared of. He might be a boogeyman for other boxers, but for him, he's human. And since humans make mistakes, he's gonna capitalize on every opportunity he gets and beat Jaron Ennis come fight night. Boots' promoter, Eddie Hearn, praised both fighters for not being afraid of losing their undefeated record, accepting this massive fight. He emphasized that these are the kind of matchups boxing needs, and he's proud to be part of it. Hearn anticipates an electric atmosphere on June 27, noting that both fighters are on the path of stardom regardless of who wins. He believes the winner will emerge as a superstar, while the loser will still remain a significant star. Regarding the venue, Hearn explained that the Barclays Center was chosen because Madison Square Garden was unavailable. He specifically highlighted Brooklyn's large Puerto Rican community and expects thousands of fans to travel from Philadelphia to support Boots. He predicts a full house and a wild environment, solidifying New York as the ideal location for this high-stakes matchup.
Can you randomly losing this Boots fight? They're both gonna have great fights.
Yeah, but that's what you want. Guys that aren't afraid of the O, that are willing to show how great. Like, trust me when I say this place will be electric on June 27th. It'll be a massive fight. Whoever wins comes out as a superstar. Whoever loses comes out as a big star.
Can you give me your random thoughts on? Sorry, go ahead.
You know, they had the Puerto Rico day. Xander said, "How do we end up in Brooklyn as opposed to MSG, where we used to see in Matchroom, we're used to seeing Top Rank? So how do we go from Puerto Rico and end up at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York?"
Well, firstly, I think there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Brooklyn. MSG wasn't available on any date in June. So, you know, and I like this place. I mean, don't forget, this place has staged some massive fights over the years. It's always a good crowd. Even when I came here for Dalton Smith against Super Real Matias, I mean, it was, you know, it was quite a small show, but there was still, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 in it, and it was wild. Do you know what I mean? You imagine the whole place is full up, which it will be. So, yeah, look, I love MSG, I love Barclays Center, and I'm just pleased to be in New York because I think that's the right place. You're going to get a huge amount of Puerto Ricans coming to this fight. You're also going to get a huge amount travelling from Philadelphia, thousands upon thousands, and I think that would be great with a travelling fan.
Boots was recently interviewed by Puerto Rican Brian Fonseca, and he had a stern warning for the island's fans who will be supporting Zayas. Boots acknowledged Zayas' development and skill set, which he considers superior to others in the 154-pound division. While he respects Zayas for taking the fight at a young age, Ennis remains extremely confident. He dismissed the idea that he is overlooking his opponent, clarifying that his confidence stems from his hard work and belief that he elevates his performance for major events. While not a massive fan of tuning in and watching his opponents fight, Boots has been watching and closely studying Zayas' recent fights, and he thinks he can solve the puzzle, implying that it's not going to be an easy night for the Puerto Rican champion.
A lot of people think it was easy, but he did beat Charles Conwell, and people were talking up Charles Conwell like he's the boogeyman of the division. Then after that, he beats Sebastian Baru in a unification, so he got a couple nice wins coming into this, but obviously, like, he hasn't fought anyone of your level, I don't think. But do you like what you've seen from him in terms of his development the last couple fights?
Yeah, I seen the couple fights that I did watch. Like I don't watch guys, but I had to watch. Like my last two fights, I don't really watch guys. But
Like,
my last
you don't do film on
no,
them?
but my last two fights, I didn't know much about Lima, so I had to watch Lima.
Okay.
And I didn't really know much about Zayas until like recently. So I had to watch him. I never sat there and just turn on a fight and watched him. So
Right.
I had to sort of see what he got. And but yeah, I watched him and I see a lot of things and it's going June 27th is gonna be crazy. I'm telling you now. I'm gonna show out. I'm gonna have fun.
Do you feel like, just age-wise, because he's 23, and again, going back to like him taking this fight, and some people are going to say, hey, it's a little early, but for you, you're 28 if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, 28.
Do you feel like you need this fight more than he does at comparing the stage of his career, the stage of your career?
Do I feel like he needed more fight?
Do you feel like you need this fight more than he does? Just because age, like he probably doesn't need to rush into this yet.
No, he definitely, like I said yesterday at the press conference, he could have chose somebody else. And he had to, fight me.
Yeah.
I'm glad. That's why I said I'm glad he took the fight.
Yeah.
And I appreciate him taking the fight, but them belts come back on the Philadelphia.
While most experts predict Boots to win this fight, Bernie the Boxer had an interesting opinion on this matchup. He didn't want to predict this fight, nor discredit either fighter, especially considering Zayas is far too young and inexperienced to fight Ennis. Bernie, however, touched on Boots' recent comments on Zayas not being talented enough to fight him. Bernie didn't hesitate and slammed Boots, questioning the opponents he fought recently. He specifically targeted Boots' latest victory at super welterweight over Wisma Lima, implying that Boots doesn't have enough experience at 154.
Who's going to necessarily win? But I'm a press. I don't want to say who's going to win. I think Xander, not really that entertaining, but smart boxing. Can't take it away from his movement. Boxing. Can't take it away from him in that situation. And definitely Boots got the flashier combinations, the flashier style, the more appealing style to your eyes. But they both been groomed well. They both good pedigree. I just want to see a great fight. I don't favor any one of them. I've been saying Boots, but I really don't favor anyone. I would just like to see them guys go on and who emerges as the number one guy.
I just listened to the interview with Boots on YSM Sports Media. He kind of doesn't really he gives respect to, Xander for giving him the opportunity. But when it comes to his skills, he feels like he could do whatever he wants to do in there. When we talk about getting rid of him or getting him out of there, he says he could do whatever he wants to do with him. He's not impressed what he sees in Xander Zayas. I mean, what do you get out of that?
You're talking the talk.
Looking past him, I don't know. What do you think?
Man, I don't know. Like I say, I don't know, but with tough talk like that, he should have fought somebody better than the last kid he fought. He should have fought somebody else better than him. He should have had them guys, whatever he had to do. Take a pay cut, something. Get somebody in there more credible than the last guy fought. You talking stuff like that?
The legend, Roy Jones Jr. himself, recently shared his thoughts on the fight. While he refused to share a prediction, he did compare both fighters. Unlike other experts, Jones isn't entirely dismissing Zayas. Instead, he acknowledged the Puerto Rican boxer can fight and put up a competitive show. Jones, however, believes that Boots has more skills, pointing to the intangibles in both fighters. While Zayas too possesses a few, he's nowhere compared to what Boots is capable of doing in the ring. Jones clearly sees Boots going into this fight with an advantage, purely because of his superior skill set and experience in the ring.
Can Xander beat Boots, Roy? He's super confident. He thinks he can do everything Boots can do.
It's yet to be seen. It's like I said, I'm not saying he can't, because I've seen Xander, and Xander is pretty good. Intangible wise, I don't know that he can do everything Boots can do, because Boots does have a lot of intangibles that Boots can do. I've seen him do a few more because he's been around a bit longer than Xander. But Xander's got to know how to make an adjustment. So that being said, we'll have to see what happens. I don't know who will win the fight. The intangibles do lean toward Boots to me, but Xander's a hell of a fighter, a hell of a champion, and I've seen him in action up close when I had Slava fight him, and he gave Slava a pretty good, he made a good adjustment on Slava and came back and beat Slava, but Slava did hurt him early, but you never can tell. So does Boots have that kind of power? I think so, yes. Does Boots have boxing skills? I know that for a fact. So I think it's going to be just a great fight, and I can't wait to see who wins.
Yeah, should be a hell of a fight.
Former unified welterweight champion Keith Thurman also leans heavily in favor of Boots Ennis. In his analysis on both fighters, one time stated that Zayas hasn't fought the big names, and the lack of experience will show when he takes on Boots in the ring. Thurman stated that Boots is called the bogeyman for a reason, and that he's seen him working hard and training in the gym for every fight. Boots is going to come prepared for this fight too, and therefore Thurman is hesitant to give Zayas a chance of winning this fight.
Yeah, I like the fact that, Xander Zayas has just, been able to do what he did, and I know he's got a lot of hype right now. I think he should be riding that hype train a little bit longer. And not sure if he's ready for the toughest fight of his career, you know. Boots' opposition in his last fight doesn't prepare him fully, for this fight. But Boots is a former champion, and Boots is young and on the grind and has been waiting to make a big statement. And this is that, there's always windows and opportunities. I remember when Paulie Malignaggi became world champion at 147, and I was like, who did he just fight? And then boom, he was overseas and he was able to get a title, So not only does he get to fight a champion, but he gets to fight a unified champion. You take out one and you walk away with two, it's just it's timing, but we know what they say about Boots. They say he's the boogeyman, right? That's what they want to say. He's the baddest, he's everything, So having the double strap on you in a elevated division coming from 147, that will fuel the hype train a lot more. But, there's heavy hitters, there's some killers, and, we've seen him, I love his work rate. I love his training regimens. I just love his dedication, and that's everything it takes to be a champion. So I lean towards him. I believe. I'm a believer. I'm a believer that he can make this happen, because I'm not a full believer of Xander Zayas. Like who he just got this belt off of, I didn't even know that guy, So it's not the same. I'm very big on pedigrees. I'm very big on resumes and things of that nature. And that's the good thing about that fight, that matchup, is they, in theory, they might be the best names on each other's resume. You know what I mean?
The boxing world is reluctant to give Zayas the win, but have praised his guts for taking this fight. Zayas, meanwhile, is eager to show what he's capable of and is planning on surprising the world come June 27th. But we'd love to hear from you. Do you think this is going to be a one-sided affair where Boots proves to the world that there are levels to this game? Or are we gearing up for a major upset? Let me know your predictions in the comments. That's all for today. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.